Coulee Region Sports Network. Live, local, and anywhere you can get the World Wide Web. CRSN.
Anderson 2-on-1. He'll drop into the circle. Shot to goal. Anderson to the back attack. And the team's two top scorers are in sync tonight. One-timer from the high slot. Case measures it up and makes the save as he cuts off the angle. Hendrickson across the line, gets tackled there in the slot, gets right back up, shoots and scores! Wow, what a move! Garrett Hendrickson with a nifty move from his knee. He goes around Paige Skoog, sends it home over the shoulder, and it's 6-0 CRC.
Every time the pipe pings another goalie, here's Johnny's horn sing.
It's the Chill Coaches Show. Rik and Scotty are talking puck with Coach Hamre and Coach Degenhardt. Chill players and even the opposition from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Let's not be the 12th wonder of the world passing the puck around, and let's try to get a couple lead pipe shots to the net as some plumbers here.
Right.
Let's make some good plays happen at the net front where goals are scored. Good power plays get the puck to the net.
Now, here are two guys that are about ready to give NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman a Fruit of the Loom ripping snuggie. Rik, Franke, and Scotty Gran.
Lord knows I got a lot of Fruit of the Looms.
Yeah.
Go next door.
Welcome to the Chill Coaches Show. Rik, Franke, Scotty Gran live from Buffalo Wild Wings as we get set to talk puck with the coaches, John Hamre, AJ Degenhardt. A great weekend for the Coulee Region Chill last weekend against the Aberdeen Wings. You know, we had the discussion. Scotty and I put a lot of weight on the series. We said, hey, this to us is a must-win for morale for this team. And these guys got it together on that Friday night and just went out after it, scored 4 first-period goals. And they had just that eye of the tiger that we haven't seen numerous times this season. I think those guys knew this was a must-win, and they came out and got it. And I don't know what you had to say to them, John, but they definitely went out in the first period and played the best first period of the season, in our opinion. I think I can speak for Scotty when I say that.
Well, certainly, started out the weekend on a real strong note, and I know it's a few days removed. Obviously, tragedies in Connecticut and on our minds all week this week, and obviously pay respects to that whole circumstance and family members of lost ones. That was a backdrop to that starting weekend, and that's a chilling way to start a weekend series. It puts hockey in a real different perspective. What we're doing here is important, but it's a hockey game, and so talked a little bit about opportunity, talked a little bit about taking advantage of opportunities to be a teammate and to have great teammates and how you compete for each other. And it's a special opportunity, and take advantage of each day of your precious lifetime. And so you guys framed it as a must-win weekend. We're proud of how the guys competed, and but the weekend before was important, and the game on Thursday night and the game on Saturday night is important, and it's a continual development process. So real proud of, as you said, the kind of look in the guys' eyes. Real proud of how the guys came out and competed last weekend, and not too low on the lows, and keep the highs even keel. And we're excited to get back to work and play tomorrow night.
No one's going to argue with you, John, that every series is important. I'm not going to take that away from you. That's a valid statement. But when you looked at how important that series was, considering where we were in the standings, that was about as important as they come. AJ, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. It's an opportunity against two of the bottom teams in the division at that point, and kind of a must-win situation where you're looking to create a little separation and start getting things moving in the right direction. So it was a big weekend for us. Guys came out, they played hard and battled, and it's good to see coming together as a team and starting to build in the right direction. So
yeah, guys, I just wanted to touch on 2 things. I think you guys probably pretty happy that the power play scored 3 goals over the weekend. They looked very good. I think board play was excellent. They were aggressive. I thought, you guys, just the body work in general against the boards and even in your own neutral zone, I thought you guys did a good job there. And then Blake Cates, I mean, he is really taken the helm as the guy in net for you guys right now, and his confidence seems to be growing with each game. And I guess your assessment of Blake and then the power play over the weekend.
Well, real proud of all the kids on the team, and Blake has certainly received deserved accolades this past week as the Division Player of the Week. Mm-hmm. He was a real backbone to our team weekend and effort, and the way we structure, build our team and program. Blake's got a role to do, and guys in front of him are blocking shots for him, and he's making saves for the guys, and we're all part of the same team. So it was pretty neat to see. Blake really stepped up, and as 2 students of the game yourselves, his rebound control was excellent.
Yes.
He handles the puck very well, so it's like at times a third defenseman back there that can get the puck moving back up ice or out the weak side and alleviates a little bit of pressure against you in your own zone. And he's a real genuine teammate, so it's a real good locker room presence, a backstop to the team. He and Devin Kiro are very good friends and supportive of one another within the position, so it's a real special kind of friendship and kinship between goaltenders. The power play, as you asked about, alluded to,
we got good things to say about the power play this episode.
To your lead-in quote, I think we were a little more lead pipe. I think we just were plumbers and made sure we got the darn puck towards that net, and we work hard. The kids work really hard. We work hard on the skill development, on the skill plays. We work hard on getting the puck to the net in terms of team concept and team commitment. And it was nice to see the guys really rewarded for a lot of their hard work and effort. Not too high, not too low. Hey, we got a game tomorrow night. We got to get the puck to the net again. So
plumbers make a good paycheck.
Yes, last week's last week, but what have you done for me lately? And so we gotta get back to work again tomorrow night.
Yeah, hitching up the belts indeed, right, Rick, and making the plays.
Hitching up the belts, not showing any crack.
That's right, no question.
And speaking of Christmas time here, I just wanted to turn the interview table on you guys this week.
Oh, here we go.
As we're studying video, I just wanted to cite. You guys must put tremendous, extraordinary time into some of those signature calls. It's like a home run call that a baseball announcer has a signature to. I'm starting to sense you two have a flair for a signature goal call or 2 or 10.
That's this guy right here, Scotty Gran. He used to write them down. Now he's just he's going totally solo on them.
Yeah, love to hear the enthusiasm. It's just awesome, the enthusiasm and support for our team. Much appreciated.
What do you think of monster truck goal calls next month, AJ? What do you think about that? That's what I was thinking. Monster truck reference goal calls for January.
Whatever works.
You can answer honestly,
you do a
AJ.
good job, though,
yeah,
I'll say
seriously,
that.
you can answer honestly on that.
Rick will answer honestly, I'll tell you that. But my next question, just going in, one of the guys here that I thought had a great weekend, though, the stat sheet doesn't show it except for on, the goal on the 3-1 victory the other day, Corey Lashenko. I think, as one of the captains of this team, his effort on the ice right now is definitely recognized. I think, he's just got the sense of urgency when he's out there. He's going 110 miles an hour. I don't think there was a play this weekend that we seen that he took off. I mean, he was excellent the whole weekend.
Top scorer against the Aberdeen Wings.
Yeah,
I mean, he goes lights out against the Wings, and it was much needed.
Well, Corey's a gentleman of the game. He's a true athlete, and by that I mean his persona off the ice is as special as what you're referring to and what you see in his on-ice gameplay. He's committed to his off-ice training. We talked about that post-game a little bit in terms of what really makes him so explosive. It's the squat rack in June, July. It's the plyos and the sprints in the heat of July and August. It's the year-round commitment to building up his strength that makes him so explosive on the ice. He's a fabulous leader and mentor of younger players in the locker room. He has a very mature and even-keeled approach to the game and approach to his teammates and his friendships and relationships with teammates as a captain, as a friend, as a leader, as a peer. And so when you see him on the ice, all those qualities he's developed off ice really make him a respected person and leader among the players on our team. He changed different shifts on the ice in the game this weekend by his open ice and wide speed with the puck, and also with his physical play and his angling and open ice. Something he's really worked hard on. How do you angle a puck carrier? How can you deliver a clean, kind of a separation check that stops progression in open ice? Not easy to do at a high speed, and all of a sudden creates a turnover. Now we can get the puck back in the offensive zone. So he really showed very, very well for himself and great contribution to the team effort this weekend, absolutely.
Drew a couple of penalties as well with that speed, and that was some things that I thought helped us out a lot, considering that the power play is their plumbers work right now. They're like you talked about, 5 goals on the power play in the last 5 games. So things looking up in that direction, and when you can draw penalties, that's going to put you in that position. You know, there was a time, and that, you know, again, this is a process. We've discussed this weekly every Wednesday, that it's starting to grow and get better and better. But when the power play is working like that, I mean, that creates a great scenario for the Coulee Region Chill.
Definitely helps the cause. you definitely want to
and less Prilosec for you, right?
So it definitely helps the team cause.
I could use less Prilosec.
Another guy that stood out for me and was honored by the North American Hockey League is Andy Faust.
Yes.
You know, those that watch the draws like we do, because I'm a play-by-play broadcaster and I see every face-off and call every face-off. Andy Faust was stellar this past weekend on the draws, and created a lot of opportunities because of those face-offs. We had shots right off the face-off more than I've seen any time this season.
We talked about a couple weeks ago, I believe, last week or the week prior, about face-off plays and developing face-off skill, how to take a draw, how to execute a play as a unit, how to execute against competition. And Andy's been a real strong center iceman for us, both in the one-on-one element of the face-off, and also in terms of leadership of a unit going on the ice and making something happen off of a draw. Andy was cited by the league as our number 2 star of the week in our division. And the nice thing about Blake Cates and Andy Faust is they're such team-oriented guys. They'd be the first guys to say, hey, it's a team effort. There's you know, the whole locker room could have, you know, any one of a number of guys could have been named to those accolades, and they're the first guys to point to their teammates. Andy's been real strong on defensive zone faceoffs for us, in particular over on the right side, but he can handle faceoffs on either side of the rink, and he's shown real confidence and leadership, and been a gelling factor in making other players better on his line and line mates that he's played with through the year, and obviously this past weekend. So just a great speed on the ice, a real two-way commitment, a real positive, never gets himself down attitude. He really keeps himself and his line mates in the bench in a positive frame of mind, and that's an important element of leadership and dynamic energy for a team.
With that being said, of course, the numbers are something I'm always going to bring to the table during the coaches show, and that is that 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points, a +2, and a game winner in the last 5 games. That's good numbers for Andy Faust. Mac Jansen is back. The Mac attack has been scoring as of late. He had 4 goals in the last 5 games, 2 assists, 6 points, a +2 with a game winner, and then Hunter Anderson, 1-5-6, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points, +2, and a game winner. Those guys have been your offensive catalyst, with help, of course, from Corey Lashenko. Those are the guys that I think have really stood out in the last 5 games offensively. Not to say there hasn't been other role players. I mean, you look at Garrett Hendrickson and that big goal he scored. I mean, it's getting viral now. You know, the down to the knee in the slot, back up, going top shelf. I mean, that was some pretty good stuff. He had to be pretty excited that happened for him.
Well, that's the Garrett Hendrickson that we know, and we're so excited to work with. He's such a genuine, just a fabulous, kind, wonderful-hearted human being. Garrett Hendrickson is just a special young man, and it's just great to see him playing again the way he played this weekend, and how we see it in practice and how it leads up to how you practice is how you play. But what a wonderful weekend of hockey for him to have played last week, and that's the Garrett that we know. All those guys that you mentioned, yes and yes and yes, and so when you get all those guys, Mac and Corey and Jesse and Eddie, and just, I don't want to miss names, but when everybody's
Jesse
pulling in the same direction, Blake, Andy, Hunter,
Sure.
the list goes on. Everybody's pulling in the same direction, and good things happen, and that's the team concept. That's teamwork. On the stats, I go back to a little bit of Kenny Rogers. There's time to count when the deal is done.
Here comes the gambler.
Come June, we can do some counting. Right now, we got to get back to that plumber's kit. We got work to do Thursday night. But yes to what you're pointing to. Real team effort. real team effort. Everybody's working hard and finding ways to contribute to the team.
Before we get into the preview and looking towards Minot, a team that has definitely been playing lights out in the last 10 games, and we'll get to those numbers. Obviously, there were some casualties out of a weekend sweep of the Aberdeen Wings, And a guy that I definitely respected as a head coach and general manager, lost his position as that guy for the Aberdeen Wings, and Pete Sauer, and we wish Pete the best in his next endeavors. I mean, I don't know if you got to know Pete that well, but I always thought he was a class act and did what I thought he could do with that franchise. Garrett Strode, who was relieved of his duties back last season late in the year, will step in as the interim head coach GM, and his father Dan will be the new assistant in interim. So, these things can happen when a team is struggling, and by sweeping the Aberdeen Wings, I think the owner, Greg Odie, decided it was time to make a change.
Well, I certainly can't and won't comment on Greg Odie's decisions. I will say that I did get to know Pete a little bit, obviously, through our division. He was real helpful in the summertime as I transitioned to the position on division travel planning and lots of logistics within our divisional relationships. I've known him for, darn near 15 years of coaching. Not well. I don't pretend to know Pete well. But as a coach, you feel for other coaches. I did take the time and have reached out to him by phone this week, exchanged voicemail, and it's just it's something that happens. I can't comment on the whys of a decision, but as a fellow coach, I don't know what was going on within their team or program. I can't comment on that. But by and large, coaches coach because they want to help teams, help kids develop, help players, and they love the game. And so it was a decision that was made as a fellow member of the coaching fraternity. Obviously, I care about him and wish him well, and leave it at that.
This is the Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings. Rik, Franke, Scotty, Gran with Coach Hamre and Coach Degenhardt. And it's family night here. You can order $1.99 off the kids' menu. Great eats, the black and blue burger. Maybe you'd like to get some boneless wings or the traditional. They got a bunch of different sauces to choose from. I'm a garlic parmesan guy.
Mini corn dogs, they got those too.
The jam and jalapeno is good. They got the corn. They got good stadium food. Corn dogs. They got the soft pretzels with the cheese queso dip. You get right in there.
Queso dip's awesome.
Now, granted, we look like guys who really enjoyed the cheese queso dip. I know that, but you got to try it at least once. It's darn good stuff. All right, let's start to preview the Minot Minotauros. They're fourth in the Central. They have a 7-point lead on the Coulee Region Chill. Here's the deal here, though. 8-1-1 in the last 10 games. I mean, this is a team that's winning hockey games, but when you look at the wins, they have won half their games in overtime, 6 of them in shootouts. And you look at their shootout record, they're 6-1, and the overtime win they had was against the Coulee Region Chill when you guys went to visit. Give us your take on the Minot Minotauros, John.
Well, they're a team that struggled last year, and so anybody that mistakenly assumes that their last year's team is sorely mistaken. They've made a lot of personnel changes. I don't know Marty Murray well. I have tremendous respect for him in terms of what he's doing with their team up there this year. He's made a lot of changes, and so he's kind of in year 1.5 into 2. He was with the team to start last year, I believe, as an assistant. Took over the team mid-year last year.
A quarter of the season,
I think. Season, and so he's been retooling that. Halfway through last year, a quarter of the way through last year, into this year. So it takes some time, but he's found a little chemistry in his locker room. Obviously, they're carrying that on the ice. As I watch their team play, I like their team. They have a real big, strong, athletic goaltender in net now for them. Yep. That gives them confidence, and they have a number of players that they're buying into a hard-working team concept, and they've found some results as a team. I don't know if you'd go through their lineup and pick off a lot of names. There's several names I'll leave unnamed, but there's several names that are what you would think high-end players. But they're all respectable, hard-working, team-oriented players. And so they've found a real good stretch of success. Anybody that takes them lightly is sorely, sorely mistaken. They've worked hard. They've earned their points of recent. We certainly have tremendous respect for them, as every opponent in our division. So they'll be a good team coming in tomorrow night, absolutely.
They're a gritty unit. You look at their numbers, and nothing stands out on paper. I mean, you see minuses, but that, of course, has a lot to do with the fact they won a lot of their games in shootouts, and their power play is very, very good.
It's fifth.
And when you score a lot of power play goals, you're not getting your pluses for them. So that's how you can kind of equivalate where the numbers are coming from. AJ, your take on this team. You see them as gritty, physical, opportunists with a solid defense and solid goaltending. That's kind of the way way I perceive them.
Yeah, it's a solid team top to bottom. I'd say they're more of a desperate team. They're playing with desperation. They're playing with a purpose, and it's a lunch pail type team. They go out, do the job, they do it hard, and they've been getting results because of it. They have good goaltending, and anytime you have that, it's a good start. And they got a team that battles hard in front of them, and they compete night in and night out, and they've been getting good results because of it.
Yeah, what have you guys seen? Their power play, like you, Rick said, is 5th in the North American Hockey League at a 20% effective rate. And the guy that makes it go, ironically, he doesn't do a lot on 5-on-5, but Mason Morelli has 5 power play goals for the Minotauros. And I guess I'm not saying that he's the highlight, but why do you think they're so effective? Is it just how they position themselves or how they rotate the puck?
From what I've seen, it looks like they move the puck pretty well, and they get pucks to the net with traffic. So like we alluded to in ours a little bit, getting pucks to the net, getting traffic at the net, little things like that are going to make big differences on the power play, and they're doing those. They're working hard, and they're keeping things simple out there, and they're getting rewarded for it. So.
Yeah, Coach Hamre, you talked about Tyler Parks, and he's come on strong. I mean, 7th in the league in saves, 10th in save percentage, and Rick climbing up the boards. He was 20th in the league in goals against average 2 weeks ago. Now he's 13th. So a guy that's really come on strong and shown that a big goaltender in this league. There's always question marks about big goalies in any facet of hockey, but this guy has really put on a show for the Minotauros, and maybe like you said, lunch pail. Maybe that's a definition of a Minotauro because I don't know what it is.
It's kind of like it's a half man, half bull.
Oh, really? Okay.
Isn't it, John? It's mythology.
Rumor has it. I'm more interested in the.
I go to the professor when you never.
I'm
taught
focused
mythology?
on penguins.
All right, all right, all right.
I'm focusing on penguins.
I'm not a biologist. I'm a hockey coach.
Angry penguins. Although Shiver's not that angry.
Yeah, the Parks goaltender. He's a real credible athlete. So in terms of questions on big goaltenders, if a player is athletic, big, small, the athleticism is what matters, and obviously a bigger goaltender takes up more of a net than a smaller goaltender, and if he's an athlete and has good fundamental technique and is willing to compete, which all indications are that he is, he's been a real strong goaltender in our league. So kudos to him. He's played well and helped their team certainly emerge here in this middle third of the season.
Any weaknesses you guys can see on the tape right now you think you can exploit? Because they've been playing so well right now.
Well, they're a team that I think we really need to continue using our speed against their defensemen. I really think we need to keep working the puck in low. Up in their rink, I'm not sure how many of our fans have been to their facility. Very, very small, tight area behind the net, behind the goal line.
12 hours away.
Yeah, 12 hours away by limo if interested.
Makes for a fun weekend.
So their personnel fits their home rink, but they've won games on the road too. They've competed and battled as a team. I think we've made built our team relative to team speed with grit. We want gritty, hard-working players. Really work to build a speed-oriented team as well, and if you can combine that grit and a real hard-working attitude with team speed, that's a good mixture for some success. We need to attack their defensemen. We need to get pucks in behind their defensemen, wide in their defensemen, and then attack back to the middle of the offensive zone with some speed, crashing a big, strong goalie. Put some pressure on a goaltender that has some confidence. I think we have to do a little bit better job on our point coverage. We a few weeks ago talked about offense generated from the blue line with you, Scotty, and on the show, and their power play had generated some offense from their blue line shots when we were in Minot. So that was a different series, 2 different teams then than we both progressed to now this week. But those are some key fundamentals, I think, relative to how their team is built and how our team is built, and that'll make the matchups real fun for the guys to play on the ice.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think Blake's definitely at a different stage this time in this meeting, based on what I'm seeing in terms of his confidence and where he's at with his puck rebounds and such. One more thing about Minot, and then we'll talk more with Ken Oda, their broadcaster, a little bit later on here in the Chill Coaches Show, but the testament to the fact that they are playing as a unit. 8 players have more than 1 power play goal, and that doesn't happen all that often. You don't look up and down rosters around the North American Hockey League and see more than maybe 5 guys with double digits. So that's a pretty special thing that they've got going on there as far as being able to plug different people into that power play.
Yeah, it's it's a real team concept, and this is a development league, and players want to develop in all facets of their game. Some players are more mature, ready to handle different roles than others at a given point in season. Today we worked on 4 power play units, I guess. We're trying to develop our players in all facets of the game too. And if you guys called the game and studied the broadcast last week, we put 3 different units on the ice in different situations as well, trying to keep guys fresh legs through a 60-minute game, trying to keep kids involved in their own development, everybody pulling and finding a way to chip in to help the team cause. Some guys are seeing more ice time penalty kill, some guys are seeing more ice time power play, some on 5-5, and hopefully everybody's finding that way to really help the team effort.
We see you're mixing it up. You're sneaking it up on us. You're not giving us the insight until we get on the ice, keeping us in suspense. You're good at that.
Yeah,
we like
it for the whole world to hear on the World Wide Web. You don't want to give it up.
It's like a magician pulling the rabbit out of the hat and then just having a whole bunch of rabbits out there.
Well, when you're playing cards with aces under the right sleeve there, like you do, Scotty, you gotta hold your hand close to the chest.
Spades, man.
Yeah.
Before we break for a bit here, I did a couple personnel questions for you, Coach. Number one, Sean Lang was out of the lineup this past weekend. When he was up in Minot, he scored 2 goals from the defensive position. Is he expected to be back? I think he was ill on Saturday. Are you expecting to have him back and capable to play here for tomorrow night's game?
He had the flu.
Okay.
So bad case of the flu. He practiced yesterday for the first time since last week, and we had a skills practice. Today was his first full practice since mid-end of last week, but Sean's back healthy, and we're excited to have him back healthy practicing. Okay, good. And the other is the league announced that Travis Underwood was sent to Springfield. Can you comment, or do you care to comment about what we got in exchange for him? At this point, I cannot comment internal kind of team protocol, league protocol on that, but working through some options and opportunities, hopefully to create some win-win situations. Okay, great. There we go. That's the personnel questions, and we, of course, always appreciate your time. We'll try to get you guys back on towards the tail end here if we can. We've got players in-house. We've got Cam Bleck for the first time. We've also got Blake Cates, who was awarded the Central Division Star of the Week, and Corey Lashenko, who was a key contributor to the big sweep over Aberdeen. We'll get those guys coming up, and then we'll talk with Ken Oda towards the tail end of the broadcast to find out more about the Minot Minotauros. Let's take one competitor at a time. I know Bismarck's coming in on Saturday, but let's talk Minot. I don't think we need to get into Bismarck today. Are you all right with that? I'm here to support your show. I'm just thrilled to be around the enthusiasm that you guys bring to the Chill. I kind of gave you the needle a little bit on your signature calls, but it's great to be around people that have a passion for what they do and energy, and just really appreciate your support of our team and the program. It's very much appreciated by the guys and the team. Well, we do. We appreciate that you guys acknowledge that, and that's fantastic.
Monster
Thank you so much
calls.
for saying. The Johnny Jones horn, do you guys hear it on the other side there? Do you notice that horn that Scotty was referring to? We've heard a horn, and I have to be honest, it's vaguely similar to an end of a period horn or a goal horn, and it's
I don't know what's louder, Johnny Jones's horn or the Omni Center icy machine that goes nonstop while we're doing the broadcast.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I just stay focused on the game on the ice.
There you go. All right, when we return, we will talk with Cam Bleck. We'll introduce Cam Bleck, who is the newest player. Hey, anything, AJ, we should mention to Cam? Because I know you have some past coaching experience with him. Anything that we could throw him a curveball with?
I would say that he likes Hubba Bubba, and that his actual name is Michael.
Michael, okay, so it's not really Cam, it's Michael, and he likes Hubba Bubba. Yep. That's coming up here on the Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings.
You're not enjoying the escapades, right, buddy? You're not trying to forget the escapades. Spit it out. You're a big boy. Use your big boy words.
Rik and Scotty will return in a moment from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska on CRSN.
Would you like to be the first to know before Quick Trip raises the price of gas by receiving alerts on your cell phone? To sign up, text KTKS to 75309. From there, you'll click on the link to choose your favorite Quick Trip store. You'll receive alerts before Quick Trip raises the price of fuel, and you'll receive other money-saving coupons too. So text KTKS to 75309 to enroll, or visit our website at QuickTrip.com and click on Quick Trip Mobile. Message and data rates may apply.
America's Best Value Inn and Econo Lodge in La Crosse, Wisconsin is the home of the Coulee Region Chill's guest opponents. Rooms are available with refrigerators, microwaves, coffee makers, free Wi-Fi, and continental breakfast. Mention the Chill's special daily, weekly, and monthly rates when you book your stay at the America's Best Value Inn and Econo Lodge in La Crosse, Wisconsin, where people stay by choice, not by chance.
Like a puck flying across the ice, Beaver Builder Supply has a fleet of trucks to deliver your building supplies at warp speed. Looking for roofing or siding? Thinking of a new garage or window replacement? Beaver Builder Supply is your solution store. If you have questions or for order pickups, we're located in Holmen, right on Highway 53. Don't burn your time wandering around a big store. Come to Beaver Builder Supply for immediate top-flight service and quality supplies. Go chill.
Everything we do is to bring you back. Our Tot Spot makes shopping fun for you and the kids. Our signature meats like burgundy pepper spoon roast, ribs on a stick, and Oktoberfest bratwurst make meal prep a snap. Plus, our spectacular deli takes eating at home to a whole new level. Festival's Boomerang Theory. Innovation to bring you back.
Great stuff for not a lot of money. Festival Foods.
Catch the Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska each Wednesday night from 6 to 7 on CRSN.
Has it been your experience the goaltenders' psyches are a bit different than other players in other positions?
You can't control when a shot is going to come to you. You just have to be fluid and in position for saves. So the mindset of a goalie being aggressive is different than a skater being aggressive on a forecheck, a defenseman being aggressive on pinches or pins in the corner. There's a mindset of composure and aggressive positioning, perhaps. You're not bringing that play to something. You're waiting for it to come to you. You have to have great mental strength and preparation and be ready for that play when it comes.
It's the Chill Coaches Show. Come on down for Buffalo Wild Wings Family Night, where the kids' meals are just $1.99. And you can kick back and be part of the show while you enjoy great food and drink. Rik and Scotty talk puck with the coaches, players, and opposition. Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Buffalo Wild Wings. Chill Coaches Show on CRSN.
Hendrickson, he'll cut towards the net, right out in front. One-timer goal! Beautiful pitch to Lashenko on the doorstep. He sends it home.
The Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska. Now, back to Rik and Scotty.
Welcome back to the Chill Coaches Show. Rik, Franke, Scotty, Gran, and Cam Black with us from the Coulee Region Chill. One of the newest members, number 25 when you see him on the ice, in the white jersey at the Omni Center, in the dark jersey when he's on the road. Cam, welcome to the Chill Coaches Show.
Thanks.
You done these Coaches Show type things before? Is this your first one?
This is my first time.
First time? You can get that microphone right up in there close. I know it's kind of weird to put something up in your face like that. You are one of the most exciting guys to see on the ice. I know Scotty will agree with me that this past weekend, I think you really started to shine for this Coulee Region Chill team. Your first weekend, you end up down in Janesville, and you get into the action pretty early after Matty Williams got the overhand surprise there at the faceoff circle. You took care of business with Becker there, and unfortunately you weren't able to play the rest of the game. But that showed your grit right off the bat, and probably, with being a guy that was playing for Topeka, that's part of the Topeka lifestyle there, is getting in some scraps from time to time, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did that take you by surprise? You were going to have to get into that?
Yeah. I didn't expect much fighting going on in this division, and then I get jumped in the first 2 seconds.
It's rare. You won't see it all that often.
Is that what you call a hubba bubba?
Yeah. Oh yeah, hubba bubba.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about hubba
that?
bubba?
I'm not quite sure. It's something that Coach thinks I really like.
Oh, but you don't really like it? So he just has this, AJ has this belief that you like hubba bubba, but he's completely wrong about it?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay, so maybe it's a code word for something you're supposed to be doing on the ice. I'm not sure what it is. You played under AJ for a little bit, though, right? He worked with you as a coach. Now tell us a little bit about your time with AJ and a little bit about your past experience. I know you played for Team Illinois. Is that accurate?
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about your experience with Team Illinois, and do you still keep in touch with some of the guys, and what are some of the names out there that are playing in this league?
Yeah, I keep in touch with all the guys pretty much. They're all scattered. There's one on Springfield, Odessa, then you have Coppola, who I've been playing with for 3 years now. But and AJ was my last coach. Well, he was assistant last year, but he had like a head coach role, and I loved him. He was like, that's why I was excited to come here. I just knew I was gonna have to spend another year with AJ.
That's cool. Well, he's he's loved in this area. He was a lacrosse guy, played for the Lacrosse Red Rangers, and then of course for the Badgers and won a national championship.
The female demographic.
Yeah, he has a respect. Well, he's married now and has a beautiful, lovely bride.
And that's great. We're happy for him.
Don't keep trying to pitch him out to all the female population. His wife's going to go nuts on you.
I'm just throwing it out there. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
I'm happy for him.
See, this is what this show's all about, him causing trouble with people.
Yeah,
see?
pretty much.
That's what it is. So
you
enjoyed your experience with AJ. What do you like best about his style?
I guess, to be honest, I like it. He's just like one of the boys. He's been through the same thing we've been going through right now. Like, he played juniors and he played college, and he's just like somewhat right out of college. So he's like just did the same stuff we did.
And not to take anything away from John, he's a bit older and a bit different in terms of probably his relationship with the guys and what AJ's relationship is. So it's nice to have AJ, and it was an attraction for you to want to come to the Coulee Region Chill.
Definitely.
Tell us about Topeka. You weren't there that long, but you scored against the Coulee Region at the showcase. So I'm sure you knew that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you think somebody? Did you think somebody was going to say something to you when you came over to this team about scoring on them?
I thought so, but I didn't get anything.
No, they didn't give you anything?
No.
How's the relationship with the guys? Being one of the newest guys here, how have you been welcomed in?
All the guys are really friendly, and I love them, But, like, the first couple weeks, you kind of just ease into it, And now you know everyone really well now, so you're just bonding with them.
Was getting in a scrap a good way to be a part of the team right away?
Yeah, they love that stuff.
I thought they did. Lashenko was looking over his shoulder to make sure you answered the question correctly.
Yeah. He's a captain. He's got to follow up with that. Cam, you've been mixing it up with a lot of different lines with the team right now. And, you're trying to find that chemistry. And like Rick said, we both agree, you're getting your step and your skates underneath you game by game. But so far, what's your favorite line you played with, and why is that?
Well, not taking away from anybody, but I liked playing with Cappy, Jake Coppola, because he's been my teammate, and I played with him he was my line mate for the past 2 years too, and I like playing with Williams, but those are that's pretty much it.
Okay, so that's what at least in terms of where you are feeling comfortable right now. Now, okay, you it was mentioned to us. One thing was Hubba Bubba, the other is your name's not really Cam.
Oh,
Cam's a nickname, isn't it?
Cam.
Yeah. Michael?
It's Michael, but no one's ever called me that.
No one. I'm John, and nobody calls me that either, except for the government when they're trying to track me down.
You don't want to know what people call me other than Scotty.
Yeah. So okay, you're the guy then I think should go with the nicknames here. Okay, you said Cappy for Coppola. Okay. And we call Mac the Mac Attack, but what do you guys call him?
I just call him Mac.
Mac, okay. Give me some other nicknames.
You got Willie.
Willie.
Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Footy.
Footy is Faust, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
what do you call Mustaniemi back there? Is it just Lexi?
Lex.
Yeah. Lex. Not late for dinner.
Yeah. Are you going to eat that?
What about Cates? Has he got a nickname?
Catesy.
Catesy?
Yeah.
Well, usually every hockey guy has an E at the end.
Yeah, it's an E and an R.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Either one of those.
Right, exactly. So, since you've been with the Chill, have you felt any sort of a rivalry with any other team? I mean, did you feel like Janesville and Aberdeen? I mean, which one would you say?
Definitely Janesville.
Yeah, Janesville. There's a little bit of anger, a little bit of hate, a little extra on the table when Janesville and the Coulee region play.
Yeah. I think it comes right from that line brawl off the start of the draw. You can't. That's definitely a rivalry right there.
Yep. You don't see that every day. I'll tell you that. It's the first time since I've been calling games in the North American Hockey League, and this is the third year now that I've seen anybody jump someone from the opening faceoff at the start of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Since his nickname is Cam, do you think he could do the Superman if he scores a goal?
Oh.
I think he could.
Isn't that the same thing as the discount double check?
Discount double check.
Oh, that's around the waist, not the chest.
I need a bigger belt.
Okay, yeah.
Where is it? All right.
No idea.
No, but come on, man. You got to throw out the Cam. You got to do it, man.
I could do
so?
it, yeah.
I think we should. Am I tipping it off right here? I think that's a good idea.
When he scores his first goal at the chill, you go with the little Superman?
I think so.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to spoil anything.
he's the guy on camera, so he's going to have to get a close-up there after that.
Yeah, you'll have to zoom in on this.
All right, we're looking for that tomorrow night at the Omni Center. Cam Bleck's going to do the Superman.
Cam,
thanks for coming down to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, great. Next up, if you can grab Blake Cates and send him over this direction, we'll talk with the Chill netminder here during the Chill Coaches Show. Nice to talk with Cam Bleck. So
he did a good job.
Yeah, he did an excellent job.
Yeah, you could tell, get the bearings underneath it, wondering what these two guys are talking about over here, but he got it. He did just fine.
He did fine. And we're going to get Blake Cates on. We're going to take just a real quick break, and we'll come right back here from the Chill Coaches Show.
Hey, I just saw you. Dish me maybe. Ping me top post. It's goal, baby.
Rik and Scotty will return in a moment from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska on CRSN. Come join them. Scotty's got your first drink. Wishful thinking.
Do you Kasasa? Do you have the financial equivalent of a green thumb? If you Kasasa, you do. With Kasasa, I get to make things grow because it gives me money to help me save. My free checking account gives me massive interest that goes automatically into my saver account. Mix in nationwide ATM fee refunds, and the next thing, I've got a whole lot of green. So do you Kasasa?
Don't just bank. Kasasa. Kasasa Cash and Saver. Only available at America's finest community banking institutions. Certain restrictions apply. See financial institution for details.
Kasasa. Now at Coulee Bank. Member FDIC.
Faust with a shot. Scores! They set up a screen in front. And Andy Faust puts it home. Far post. Paige Skoo couldn't see it. That's the way you screen the goalie.
The Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska. Now, back to Rik and Scotty.
Yes, the Chill Coaches Show. Rick Franke, Scotty Gran. We are with the Chill netminder and the #1 star in the Central Division for the North American Hockey League this past week with an outstanding effort against the Aberdeen Wings in a much-needed series.
Well deserved.
Blake, even before this series, you just started to look a lot different between the pipes in terms of your confidence. I think the Brookings game was really where I saw it the first time, and then I thought you played an excellent game against Janesville and then came in relief and completely calmed things down for Devin, who I know you're very close with and work with. He's a young netminder in his first year in the league as well. Obviously, your experience and the amount of time you've had you've taken advantage of it, and you really have become a mainstay. And, I mean, tell us, what was the break in terms of your confidence where you just felt like, you're going to get to every puck, because you've been darn near close to at least 3 shutouts this season, and one's going to come very, very soon. I know you're probably just chomping at the bit. I'm so close down in Janesville, and I'm so close to get here. Give us your take on how things are going for you right now.
Yeah, before, you just going into Brookings, you gotta have the mindset that you're not looking to save or only let up 3 goals. Now I guess I'd say if I want to win, I only the least amount of goals I need to let up is 1 or 0. And it's not that I don't trust our players that they're not going to score, but that's just the mentality that I want to have to shut the door and not let any goals in.
Right, you can't control that situation. You can't control how many goals the offense is going to score. You basically just have to do your job, and your job is to keep pucks out of the net.
Right.
And you figure if you're in a certain number area there, it's enough for this team to win a game.
Right.
And that makes complete sense, and that's what you've been doing. Tell us about the situation. Now, first off, let me just say you made a couple of dandies, a couple of highlight reel saves last week.
No doubt.
We've got them on video. We'll share them with you. You
All
can
right.
put them in your book there of goodies. But let's talk about the scrum in front of the net where you got into it with Horton. You got a little tackle in front of the net. We love that. We love to see our netminder get into it with a player. What prompted you getting into Horton? Just him getting in your crease and getting you annoyed, or what?
Yeah, he was there. He's a good player. I've played with him throughout high school. I've played against him, and Friday's game, he told me, he came up to me, he said, "Cates, I'm going to score one of these times," and well enough he did. He got the 1 goal they got. So after that, I was a little bittersweet. So going into Saturday's game, he was always there. He was always knocking on the door. But when he was there and pushed him and then he cross-checked me, that That was the end of the road.
Yeah, that's it. You don't mess with the goalie in his kingdom.
Nope.
That's when you take the stick and point and you go, 77 saves. That's all you need to say.
Or you could go Billy Smith on him. I don't know if you've ever seen old highlights of Billy Smith, the old Islanders
Man, that guy was a mean boy.
Yeah, he could do stuff with a stick from the net. You never know what was going to happen. He was almost like the movie Slapshot. You've probably seen some of that before, right? Yeah. But so Horton, you knew him. He did get that nice snipe from the top of the far circle on you, so you had he was a little bitter about that.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the team? Obviously we've seen the fights with Janesville. Who's the biggest rival for you right now in this league? I mean, Janesville's an out-of-division opponent, but, obviously there's been a lot of stuff from the forwards and defense going on back and forth with them. What is your take on who the biggest rival is?
Well, you obviously got Janesville, like you said, but, that's team to team, Wisconsin. But if I were to look at it, I'd probably say Brookings, just because, I still got a grudge, even though we beat them a couple weeks ago. I still got a grudge against them for the beginning of the year. And their players are hard to play against, and they battle, and they can, if you can't control your emotions, they can really get under your skin.
Big matchup with Minot now tomorrow night, Blake, and you're going against a goaltender in Tyler Parks, who, you look at the numbers, and both you guys right now probably a couple of the hottest goaltenders in the North American Hockey League. Have you got a chance to really watch him up close and what he does? I know he's a big goalie like you, moves around pretty well between the pipes. Is there anything special about him, or do you think his defense makes it look better?
To be honest, I haven't really watched him, and I don't like to go through all the teams that we play and look at stats and see who I need to watch for.
Like we do, right?
Right.
Like Coach says, you just look at your own lawn, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to go look at other guys' lawn. Then your lawn starts to suffer.
Right. Yeah, so I don't like to look
at Scott's
any...
Turf Builder or Preen, what do you put on your lawn? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. Go back.
Yeah, I play...
He confuses people a lot. Don't worry about it, Blake.
It's fine.
Does.
I don't like to look at other goalies' stats. I like to focus on myself, and I myself don't really look at my own stats. I kind of like to keep pushing and not say keep getting better. With a .925, I'm not going to say that's good enough. I'll be fine. No, I just keep going and not worry about anybody else but myself and the team.
Scotty's got one more for you here before we let you go.
You touched on that .925, and now you're 5th in the NAHL overall in your save percentage. But, here's a team in Minot. We talked about their power play. It's 5th in the league, 20% clip. They got a lot of guys, and Rick talked about it. They're opportunistic. This team is really one of those teams that's just going to bring the lunch pail and work hard at every single game. Now, have you got a chance to watch how their power play runs? Is there anything in particular play-wise that they run to kind of throw you off their game, or really do they just use the big bodies to get pucks on net? Is that what they do best? Or?
Well, I don't really know. That's what Coach helps us out with before the games, and then I take it a little mental images, but I don't like to look at it and say they're going to go from the point down low like that's what they're going to do every single time.
Right.
You can't just assume they're going to go from the point back down low, but they could go all the way back door. So I don't really like to guess. You have to
play it as it happens.
Right. You have to read and react.
Have some ideas of what kind of things they run in your head, in the back of your mind, and then just get ready to play.
I don't run through anything through my head. I keep my head clear before the game.
Oh, nothing.
That's
don't
the best
run
way
it through.
To do
there
it.
You go.
That's the best way to do it.
There you
I think.
Go. See, we were talking about goalies last week, and what's the frame of mind of a goalie compared to other players?
You overthink anything, you'll psych yourself out. You gotta stay focused. Before every game, I'll sit in my stall and I just tell myself good angles, good rebounds, and I just picture myself doing them.
Mm-hmm. So have positive thoughts and then go out there and duplicate them.
Keep your head clear, good thoughts.
Guess what? You did that last weekend, and you've been doing that pretty much every game I've seen in the last 6. So keep doing what you're doing, and don't let us mess around with you at all.
Yeah. I will
nice
never,
job.
I will
Nicely
never,
done, and congratulations, too,
you.
for being named Player of the Week.
Yeah, I will never ask you about lawn care products ever again.
Yeah,
on
you
the
better
show.
not. We've got one more player to talk to, and that's Corey Lashenko. We'll have Corey up next here on the Chill Coaches Show. Then we'll talk with Ken Oda from Minot. He is their broadcaster. He can give us some insight on the Minot Minotauros, the Chill's opponent, tomorrow night at the Onalaska Omni Center.
Rik and Scotty will return in a moment from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska on CRSN. Come join them. Rumor has it that Rik is going to show off his rendition of Gangnam Style. Yikes.
Domino's of La Crosse in Onalaska is a proud sponsor of the Coulee Region Chill. Check out Domino's Early Week Carry-Out Special. Pick up a large 3-topping pizza for just $7.99 every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. For a complete Domino's menu, special offers, or to order online and track your orders, go to Domino's.com and like us on Facebook at Domino's La Crosse.
Do you, Kasasa? Do you have a free checking account that tells it like it is? With Kasasa Cash, I get just what I need. Massive interest paid back to me in straight-up cash. No points or pointless, as I like to call them. Plus no minimum balance and nationwide ATM fee refunds. Now that's to the point. Do you, Kasasa?
Don't just bank. Kasasa. Kasasa Cash. Only available at America's finest community banking institutions. Certain restrictions apply. See financial institution for details.
Kasasa, now at Coulee Bank. Member FDIC.
Hendrickson, he'll cut towards the net, right out in front. One-timer goal! Beautiful pitch to Lashenko on the doorstep. He sends it home.
The Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska. Now, back to Rik and Scotty.
Yes, welcome back to the Chill Coaches Show. Rik, Franke, Scotty, Gran, and Corey Lashenko, the guy you just heard. And I want to ask you, Corey, did you try to tip that one in, or did it go off your stick right in the side of the net?
I mean, it was a really good pass by Garrett. I mean, at first I didn't know it went in the net.
Yeah, I know that's what Gargaro and I were looking at. He's like, I don't think Lashenko like flipped it, and I think it came off his stick right in front.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I saw Garrett streaking down, and he's a really great passer. So at the last second, I think I got a pretty good whack on it, and then I didn't know it went in the net until Garrett raised his arms. And I was like, awesome goal.
Now, Corey Lashenko is the guy that you see out there blazing into the offensive zone, probably the fastest guy on the team. I don't know if you guys have had an official race, unless Coach is bagging you back and forth here. I mean, are you the first guy to pretty much get to the other end in a race with the rest of the team?
I mean, we don't get bagged too much, so we don't really know. We got a lot of fast guys like Mac, and Footy's pretty fast, so we got a couple fast guys on our team. So I'm not sure.
Is the secret the Fred Flintstone 3 pedal before you start flying?
Sure. We'll call it that. That
you
sounds
know what
good.
I'm talking about. You got like this.
Oh, yeah.
This like chop chop boom.
Yeah.
It's like
it's explosive.
It's
Yeah.
nobody else
It
is
is.
like it. I mean, you can pinpoint Corey Lashenko on the ice every time.
Yeah, we'll call it the Fred Flintstone then.
I like it. You know, like how
Yeah,
Fred before
yeah.
he goes like up to throw the
Yeah,
bowling
yeah,
ball.
little-
It's like and then he goes.
Twinkle toes.
Yeah, twinkle toes.
Yeah,
Kind of like
good
that.
feet,
Yeah.
quick moves right there. Corey, I got to talk, your board play's been excellent. And I think, I know that you worked really hard in the weight room in the offseason. You talked about that in the last coaches show, and your coaches have acknowledged that. But you can see it on the ice. And, I guess if there's any young players listening to the show right now, what message would you give them about working hard in the offseason and making sure that you keep your body right?
In the off season, make sure you get rest. I mean, it's important to lift. I mean, mainly for young hockey players, just mainly focus on your legs and explosive squats and sprints and jumps and stuff like that. Just make sure everything you're doing, make it as explosive as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, we can see it out there. There's no question, and it seems like every game you're physical play, and you're just getting into the minds of some of the other team. Are you doing a little bit more John out there than you've done in the past? Because I tell you what, I see a little bit more of a vocal Corey Lashenko this year than I've seen in the past.
I mean, last weekend I was jawing a little more than I usually do, but I don't usually jaw too much until someone jaws at me first. So I'm not the first to initiate, really.
4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points, but you really have exploded against the Aberdeen Wings. What is it about the Wings that gets you up for the game? Is it seeing Garrett Strode on the other side? What is it?
Yeah, it's probably part of it. Probably a little bit, and I'm not sure. It's just, one of those teams just get fired up playing because last weekend was a big week, and, playing those guys, it's really important, series.
Take us inside the locker room via Corey Lashenko's eyes and what was discussed before that series last weekend. And when you do that, is there one thing in particular you can get a hold of heading towards this game tomorrow night against Minot and playing Bismarck on Saturday that you can grab onto from what was said in the locker room before you guys went out and scored 4 goals on Friday night?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we don't like to call every weekend a must-win, but, right now we're obviously trying to catch up and get, back in the playoff hunt. And, we're not too far off from Minot. We just got to keep it rolling and, just keep the intensity up as it was last weekend, and we should do fine.
Yeah, you talked about Minot, and they have probably a team you're going to enjoy playing against because they're physical. I know you've seen them before, but this is a whole different environment. This is at your rink now, not in the tight, confined quarters of a limo and then going to a tight, confined rink where you're going to have to see probably a therapist when you're done, really. But this is going to be at the Omni Center, your home rink, where you need a victory just to keep up with the playoff pitch, like you said, Corey. And what do you think are the keys to this game tomorrow night that are going to put you guys over the top?
I mean, just using our speed, being physical, making plays. We got a lot of skill. We got some size, got some quickness. So, I mean, I know it's pretty tough playing at their rink. You're right. Like you said, everything's just small. Like warming up off ice or small area. On ice it just feels tiny. The roof is really low. So, I think, we're trying to improve at home as much as we can. I think we're doing that. So, just got to keep it rolling.
One last thing. We talked about Minot earlier and the fact that they are a team that has been very successful in shootouts and overtimes. Now, you guys went there to Minot and lost in overtime to them. And I should say that our overtimes and our shootouts are not going so well this season. We haven't had one recently, but 0-3 in overtimes, 0-2 in shootouts. Minot 6-1 in shootouts, 1-1 in overtimes, and defeated us. How important is it for you guys to get off to that great start so you don't start to get into one of those games that's going to go to overtime against them?
I think it's really important because usually we have a slow start where, when it comes to third period, we're scrambling pretty hard, So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's got to bring the intensity right off the opening draw and carry it on throughout the game. We should be fine.
Blake's been pretty darn good in net, so you guys get a couple in front of him, and I bet you he can lock down the door.
Oh, yeah, Kate's. I'm not sure if he's better at Call of Duty or goalie, but it'd probably be a toss-up.
Who's better at NHL 13, which is the only NHL there is this season?
Well, for a while, Kate was bragging how he was ranked nationally in the world by beating 3 straight games. So
yeah, I remember Berkeley Scott used to say that too, and then I beat Berkeley Scott. So I don't know. I think that's whenever somebody says they're ranked in the world, you can pretty much bank that they're not.
I had more assists than Berkeley Scott. I'll tell you that right now.
Berkeley Scott was a guy that was with the team the first year. You probably know a little bit about Berks. Well, Corey, keep up the good work, man, and way to go against Aberdeen and go get Minot tomorrow night, all right, bud?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Corey Lashenko. And next up, we'll talk to Ken Oda, the voice of the Minot Minotauros. That's coming up on the Chill Coaches Show right here from Buffalo Wild Wings on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Rik, Franke, and Scotty Gran.
What is this? I'm sick and tired of hearing how great they are. They are sucked, and they always have sucked. Other than that, they've done nothing.
Rik and Scotty will return in a moment from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska on CRSN.
Founded by Tony Zach in 1999, Empire Development has been the area leader in home remodeling and repair.
Is it time for a residential or commercial remodel? Check out empiredevelopment.com or come into our newly remodeled showroom in Onalaska. There you can see our products and meet our on-staff interior designer.
Hi, I'm Katie, the interior designer at Empire Development. I would love to help you design your dream remodel.
Like us on Facebook or check us out at empiredevelopment.com.
Catch the Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska each Wednesday night from 6 to 7 on CRSN.
Has it been your experience the goaltenders' psyches are a bit different than other players in other positions?
You can't control when a shot is going to come to you. You just have to be fluid and in position for saves. So the mindset of a goalie being aggressive is different than a skater being aggressive on a forecheck, a defenseman being aggressive on pinches or pins in the corner. There's a mindset of of composure and aggressive positioning, perhaps, you're not bringing that play to something. You're waiting for it to come to you. You have to have great mental strength and preparation and be ready for that play when it comes.
It's the Chill Coaches Show. Come on down for Buffalo Wild Wings Family Night, where the kids' meals are just $1.99. And you can kick back and be part of the show while you enjoy great food and drink. Rik and Scotty talk puck with the coaches, players, and opposition. Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. at Buffalo Wild Wings. Chill Coaches Show on CRSN.
Hendrickson, he'll cut towards the net, right out in front. One-timer goal! Beautiful pitch to Lashenko on the doorstep. He sends it home.
The Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska. Now, back to Rik and Scotty.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings here for the Chill Coaches Show on the Coulee Region Sports Network, where it's family night here, Rick. $1.99 for the kids menu. How about that? Fantastic.
Well, I can't really order out the kids menu because I'm too old for it, but I know my son Eric is enjoying kid menu food for $1.99. And I'm getting a black and blue burger when we're all said and done, but we can't really give Ken Oda any food because he's in Minot, but he probably has a Buffalo Wild Wings up there, don't you, Ken?
Oh, yes, we do, and we go there quite a bit after games, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Always great for the guys to go out afterwards and the staff to go and enjoy some hot wings or whatever flavor you like. But let's talk about hot and about the Minot Minotauros because they have been hot.
They found gold
in the last 10. Oh, yeah, oil in Minot and wins in Minot as well. You guys, I noticed, though, have won many of those games. In fact, half your victories this season have come in overtime and shootouts. Is this a gritty team? Tell us about the Minotauros and really what's been the recipe for success.
Well, really, it's been a team effort. Marty's been able to roll 4 lines, and that's even been with injuries. And Denny Delitovich has been over in France representing Team Belarus in the World Juniors. So we're a deep team. I know I heard you say earlier that we've got 8 guys that have at least 2 power play goals.
Yes.
But also, you look at our 13 wins, 13 different game-winning goal scorers. So we're a deep team, and really it's just wave after wave they come at you, you know?
Yeah, and I've seen that there's a couple of guys that like to take the body, at least have been called for it a little bit. You look at your team leader in penalty minutes with Chance Krieger. He's also a guy who's one of your better in terms of plus-minus. Is this guy kind of rock solid on the blue line?
Yeah, him and Paul Sorensen as a pairing have been phenomenal together. A couple of big guys, Sorensen 6'4", Krieger's 6'3". A couple of big guys with long reaches. It's hard to really get around them. It's, you know, you might beat one, but you're probably not going to beat both. And they're both defensive-minded. They're both big, strong guys who don't intimidate easily either. And it's fun to watch them just frustrate guys. They're physical. They also are great poke check guys, great with the stick, and it's really fun to watch them frustrate guys. And then occasionally when they'll make the mistake of dropping the gloves, I don't think Krieger's lost a fight yet this year, and he is. If you check out our YouTube page, he has wailed on some guys.
Well, we'll have to take a look at some of those. He should just keep the gloves on here down in the Coulee region, all right? We have no control over that.
No promise.
He can keep them on outside.
We're talking to
Might need him.
Ken Oda, the voice of the Minot Minotauros, who have had their way recently with the Bismarck Bobcats, and that is something that has got to be very, very good for bringing in the home fans, because that's probably your arch rival. Would you agree with that, Ken?
Without a doubt, those have been some heated games. If you go back and look at box scores, you'll see there have been some bench minors. There's been some fights, a lot of jawing. It's been fun hockey at that too, though. A lot of up and down play, and both goaltenders, Aaron Nelson and Bismarck, is a very, very good goaltender. And you guys have been talking about Parksy all night here. He's been just phenomenal since he's gotten here. It's been fun hockey, and it's been fun to be on the winning side of it for the most part.
Yeah, Ken, you know, you always got to steal my thunder, especially in fantasy football, but you're talking about Tyler Parks. And
did we have a fantasy football
league?
We
did
have a league. I went there at the beginning, and I don't think I ever went back.
After I lost to Ken, my team took a downward toilet bowl spiral after that. I think it was all over. But, Kenny, going back to Tyler Parks and how good he's played. I mean, he's a bigger guy. We know that. We've acknowledged that. But he's got some quickness. And I tell you what, I don't know. I guess what's the secret to his success right now? He just seems to be seeing everything so well in net.
Well, for one thing, he's huge. He's 6'6", 6'7". You may remember him last year. He was in Springfield as well, which, back when I was in Chicago last year, we were all in that division together. And he's a big guy. He's very athletic, though. Mostly you see these big goalies, they're kind of clunky, stuff like that. Parks, he's not like that. He's very athletic. He comes out to challenge shooters when he needs to, and once he's down in the butterfly, forget it. He takes up so much of the net, and really, I haven't figured out a way to beat him. Some goalies you can get him moving, some goalies you got to pick a spot. He doesn't really seem to have a weakness this year, and even when you think he's beat, the last 3 weeks he's made save of the week for the NA highlights. The kid, you think you've got him beat, and his glove hand is so fast. He's been fun to watch.
Yeah, and you do a lot of research on your guys. The family tree doesn't go back to Olaf Kolzig, does it, with Parks? I mean, you haven't done that much research, have you?
No.
I'm just asking because I know how you like to get. I know how in depth you are.
Scotty usually has at least one or two Oleg Kolzig's references during each and every coach's show.
Yeah, actually, I think it's the first in like 3 weeks, but it's close enough.
Yeah,
that's true. But he was a good goaltender, no question. And I think Parksy's got the size. But your team in general has size, Ken. And you look at these guys; they're not afraid to bring the pain. They're a very gritty group. I think, Parksy's, you've won some games, like Rick said, in close situations. Parksy's kind of led them through some of those. But do you think there's a weakness on this team that, from your perspective as a broadcaster, other teams can exploit?
I don't know. I mean, right now we've got a good group. It's been a good mix. We're pretty physical. I'd say if we're missing anything, it might be that just top-end scorer. You look around some of the teams in the league, teams like Wenatchee with Davis down there, some of the teams in the South, just that one guy who you can count on to just go ahead and get a goal a game. We don't have that guy, but I think we make up for it with our depth. We might not have that top-end just scoring forward that some teams have, but like I said, I think we make up for it with our depth. And that would probably be our weakness right now, is that guy who can absolutely go get it in the clutch. And I think that might be why we've gone to overtime so much, is because we don't necessarily have that one guy that you could put over the wall and say, okay, we absolutely need a goal.
Like you said, Ken, on paper, just 7 goals is the team leader. I mean, you have a couple of guys with 7 goals, but what it looks like on paper, and obviously we didn't make it up to Minot. You called those games, and the Chill fans were able to pick up your broadcast. It looks to me, based on your team's plus-minus, that if you're going to get to the Minot Minotaurs, you got to get to them at even strength. And they're going to get you when they're on the power play. And if you go to overtime, you better watch out, because Parks is going to be sharp in net, and you guys have some guys that know how to get it done and get the puck in the net in those shootouts.
Without a doubt. I mean, that may be the trick to beating us, is just behaving yourself. I mean, it's amazing to me. You look at how well our power play is done, that teams continue to take what I think are some pretty dumb penalties against us. Just last Saturday night, Diver takes a slash 200 feet from his own net, and we go on the power play and score. It kind of amazes me that teams will just take these dumb penalties against us when we're clicking along at 20%. And again, like you said, you look at our plus-minus, it's clear that we do most of our offensive damage on the power play. Maybe that might be a key to beating us, is to staying 5-on-5. But with Parks, you're going to be hard-pressed. Most teams are going to be hard-pressed to put a lot of pucks past Parks to begin with. So you let us score a couple on the power play, and it's pretty much over.
Ken, your team's gone through a lot of transition. I think I counted about 18 players that you guys have moved around. You added some guys here recently who are playing pretty good. You look at Scott Dombrock from the blue line. You look at Zach Holmstrom from the forward position. Some guys that have just started with the team. I mean, how good is the scouting department for Minot? Because last year, the season is what it was, but the improvements of this team, just on a hockey sense standpoint, has to be pretty impressive from your perspective.
Certainly, the changes we've made have been huge. We came in, I think we only have 2 defensemen that were with us at the showcase, Audette and Clifford are the only two guys on the blue line who were here for the showcase. So that kind of shows you the makeover the team has gotten. And, you know, it needed to happen. We started the season 0-6-1. Even over the first, you look at, we've played 28 games. We were 3-10-1. Since then, we're 10-3-1. So the exact opposite. We needed to make some changes, and Marty and Nick have really worked hard to get the players that we needed. And like you said, the guys who have come in have really contributed, and it's been a huge, huge difference, especially for me after spending the last couple of years in Chicago and then the rough start here. It's nice to finally be in the win column some.
Well, Ken, I would say best of luck tomorrow night, but I would be lying because the Chill need to catch up, 7 points behind the Minot Minotauros, but it's always good to talk to you, my friend.
Always good to talk to you, and I'll be out there on the 11th and 12th. I didn't make this trip, but I'll be making the next one, so I'll see you guys then.
Super.
Fantastic.
We look forward to it. Thanks a lot, Ken.
Talk to you later, guys.
All right, Ken Oda, the voice of the Minot Minotauros and a good friend of the Chill Coaches Show. We are extended past the 7 o'clock time, but it doesn't mean we have to stop. I do have one more thing to share with the good people here, and, of course, we don't have NHL hockey. And so I found a song that I thought would be kind of fun for you to listen to. It is kind of one of those things, and I want to make it clear that it is the word puck, which we use in the sport of hockey.
Yes.
So that you're not confused by the lyrics.
I'm excited. I haven't even heard this yet.
The song is called Shut the Puck Up, and here it is on the Chill Coaches Show. We hope you enjoyed today's webcast here from Buffalo Wild Wings. For my partner, Scotty Gran, I'm Rik Franke. For Coach Hamre and
Merry
Degenhardt,
Christmas, too, by the way.
Timmy Culp on the camera. Merry Christmas. No Coaches Show next Wednesday, as it is the holidays, but we will return in the new year. This is the last one of 2012.
Because our season was stolen for reasons that are not very clear. What's wrong? Well, the players want to keep their piece of the pie. The owners all cry, we're poor. Yeah, but it's hard to feel sorry for either sob story when I can't even afford tickets anymore. So shut the puck up, bring back our game. All you owners and players do is whine and complain. Hey, if you can't make ends meet on all the money you earn, then you should get out of hockey and give someone else a turn. And shut the puck up. Hawaii, sing it with me now. Shut the puck up. Well, for years my wife and me, we watched the hockey on TV and got it on as much as we could. Yeehaw! Yes, every Saturday night I put my helmet on tight and give her 2 minutes for looking so good. But now I don't get no action at all. My wife, she's never in the mood. But no, I don't get the same satisfaction out of watching Jeopardy in the nude. So shut the puck up. Enough is enough. Why don't you try digging ditches if you think your jobs are so tough? Or try teaching a classroom or saving a life. Or if you really want tough, take a body check from my wife. Ooh, shut the puck up. Rock her down now. Shut the puck up. From the diehard fan to the concession stand to the sports bar, they're all out of luck. Out of luck. Yes, the business, she's down in every hockey town. And mon ami, this lockout, she suck. She suck. But it don't stop there, you bunch of greedy millionaire. Oh no, it's much worse than you think. How bad is it? This year my friend Tony has to drive his Zamboni on the heights on my backyard rink. So shut the puck up. Don't get your nose out of joint and throw away the whole season just so you can make a point. You know that sooner or later both sides will have to agree. It's like a rectal exam. Get it over with quickly and shut the puck up. We all miss our teams. You've turned out the lights on every little kid's dream. Call it a strike or a lockout. Call it what you wish. I call it a kick in the ass to the fans who made you rich. So shut the puck
what Christmas is all about?
Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
CRSN wishes you a very Merry Christmas and a joyous and prosperous New Year. This has been the Chill Coaches Show from Buffalo Wild Wings in Onalaska. Check out the archived presentation of tonight's show and all webcasts on CRSN. Go to crchill.com and click on the CRSN logo. Coulee Region Sports Network, CRSN. Live, local, and hear it anywhere you can get the World Wide Web.
Shut it off!